Hello and welcome to Wild Logic. We are going to be doing a tarot reading. Ooh, and we can see High Priestess peeking out, but we got the Six of Pentacles, Reciprocity. But before that, we're going to read a passage from the Tao Te Ching, translation by Stephen Mitchell, pocket edition. Love this little book. People are born soft and supple. Dead, they are stiff and hard. Plants are born tender and pliant. Dead, they are brittle and dry. Thus, whoever is stiff and inflexible is a disciple of death. Whoever is soft and yielding is a disciple of life. The hard and the stiff will be broken. The soft and supple will prevail. Very interesting. And we see that in relationship to the Six of Pentacles, this giving and receiving. And this, to me, is signifying that there is this need to go with the flow, to be yielding, and that it's going to be intuitive. This card just wants to be out here in the bottom and the top of the deck coming together. The High Priestess, you will know how to bend. It is built within who you are. In this day and age, there is this lack of suppleness. There is this clinging, right, that we have been taught to have in the world these days. It's how we survive. It's a taught survival instinct. But your mind and emotions are starting to learn a new type of energy. And this reading here is here to infuse you with this potential, where your mind and emotions are learning new ways. Pages represent learning. And the world is here for you. Things have kind of dried up, right? Reminds me, like, here we see the city, and here we see this landscape of like a cracked land, but there is still this little lizard who's gonna help guide this person to a healthier place, where the deserts that come after the cities, we see the clouds here, there is rain coming, there is nourishment. And what is nourishing is being re-examined by you right now. And there is going to be a new story. This star is representing the old story of how to heal. And that is going to be shifting, right? And we see it here with the Four of Pentacles clinging on to the monetary, right? And this star in this moment is representing that, you're wearing this false image, right? You're kind of like puckering up for the camera, trying to appear to be well when it's not well. And so there is an energy of a new way of working coming in, where there is this Eight of Pentacles is representing here this understanding of being fully immersed in the moment, and it will help us get to this place where we can be patient and see something new grow. And we have the 6, 7, and 8 Pentacles coming out here, and also the 4. So a lot of this is very much about grounding into a new reality, and the energy coming in is representing that. What it is to be healed and whole, you're going to understand that differently. And your ability to give and receive and be pliable is going to be evidence of that. And your intuition is going to help you really know, are you bending in a way that is healthy? Or are you bending in a way that's actually unhealthy, right? Because even a young plant can snap. And even a young human can be pushed too far, which we tend to do. That is part of the overall, right? So there is a suppleness that makes sense, and then there are limits. And I think those limits have been tested. But how you handle it is by maintaining your suppleness. So don't let things break you. Don't go into an area where it's taking things too far. This card is just always coming out, because I think the collective of folks here are we're all on this collective journey to ignite something new. And this is what we are learning in our mind and emotions, how to line up with our soul. Rather than clinging to what is past, we are clinging to the earth and its resources in a way that's reasonable, the way a young plant puts its roots into the ground, right? But it doesn't grab all of the earth or like put a box around itself. So there's a new way of seeing what we truly need, what is truly nourishing. And this is going to help clear up the way we think. And as our emotions and thoughts come into line, there will be a possibility for a new way to approach well-being. You won't even see it as healing anymore, because this cycle of healing is going to be broken. Even this idea of healing can become problematic when it becomes something unto itself. So you're going to become someone who is creating. Bliss is worth creating from, right? So you're going to tap into your own bliss, and that is what is going to be your new standard. Rather than just being healed and whole, it's going to be bliss. And you're going to bring this to other people. You're going to be collaborating. This is the lover's energy. This beautiful energy of rising together. This is a new beginning, not just for yourself, for those around you. As you rise, you will rise and bring others with you. Really beautiful. And, here we have the energy of the Fool at the bottom of the deck. Overthinking can spoil the magic. Hands up, anyone out there? Throw up a hand emoji if you might be someone who likes to overthink. We're all in good company. We've been taught that that's the solution, right? But no, it is this energy of bliss. You don't need to think when you can feel and understand these new dimensions of what works. And, while I'm thinking about it, hit the like button, subscribe, help that algorithm see that this is valuable to you if you're getting something out of it. That energy exchange really is very appreciated, especially with such a new channel. And, with that in mind, like accepting help and guidance. So, us helping out one another, when we see something that is in the energy of resonance, we will accept help and give help, right? This reciprocity that started this whole reading off, right? We need each other. I need you, you need me. We are all in this together. All flourishing is mutual. Right? And so if you're seeing something that is not mutual, then that is not true flourishing. And productivity and creation, right? We are all working towards this beautiful vision together. I love that card. Isn't that just so cool? The way that the paint is like painting these flowers. Almost it's like flower wallpaper rather than just regular paint. Your creativity is going to stand out in a whole new way, and it's going to show your true self-expression and strength to those around you. It is next level because you are creating from bliss. And there is this level of selfishness that has to come in because there has been too much sacrificed, right? There has been too much that has been taken. So you are taking back what is rightfully yours. And so you're seizing the moment. You are getting back into the flow, my friends. And this card says selfishness, but it's really this idea of owning your own energy. We're taught that it's selfish to be embodied, to really go with the flow and be flexible to the things of the universe, be bending towards love and rather than towards hate. So what are we bending to? Where are we giving that energy? so interesting how this is laid out. I think just one of the candles is a little bit farther into the picture than the other. Yeah. So rise, my friends, rise, and rise with others. Bring others on this journey with you. As you rise, others will rise. Okay? This is all very important. We need one another. We really need one another to rise up. And let's see who comes out in the animal spirit deck. Okay, the hummingbird, the sweetness, the nectar. How do you rise? The hummingbird was a very important symbol in the Four Winds energy medicine school that I attended. It also can fly backwards and forwards. It can fly a great distance because it lives off of bliss. It lives off of nectar. It has adapted itself to only drink nectar. And here we have the whale. So this is the depth. Actually, this wants to go here. These souls, these creatures of this planet, for example, the whales sing the song. It's the song of the story of the earth. They have been singing it for a long time. I was honored to meet someone whose family were taking note of the whales in Australia, and he was a sound engineer and had been recording them and piecing together the song that they have been singing with one another, to one another. And they keep adding to this song. It keeps getting longer. And they'll sing it into the ocean floor. It's an incredible story. And I hope that more and more people become aware of this. And so here we have the octopus. And it's about boundaries and clinginess. And so I think for those of us that have been through a lot, that have been taught to be independent, have had to work alone, it can be very hard to know how to connect with people in a healthy, meaningful way, right? And I think that reminds me of the passage right next to the one that I read. When taxes are too high, people go hungry. When the government isn't too intrusive, people lose their spirit. And so this is this like clingy octopus where it starts to control us too much. Act for the people's benefit, trust them, leave them alone, right? So there's this lack of boundaries where we are being too controlled. And we need to be able to see this from a high enough perspective where we're not just seeing our own individual struggles, but also the bigger picture. And where are we bad with boundaries? Where can we clean that up? Because when we are bad with boundaries, we're going to be gripping and like a little vine, tying ourselves to something else. And then when they move, like we move, or we move, they move. We're like binding ourselves to others. Oh, this is cool. So here we have the dolphin, and the whale are looking together to rise. And these are both cetaceans, part of the animal group called cetaceans. And they're very intelligent. Dolphins have a level of intelligence equitable to the way we would interpret human intelligence, but they live very differently. They live in harmony with the earth and with out all of these things that are kind of negatively impacting the environment. So to spend time with dolphins, to see how funny, to feel their energy and presence, I've had that opportunity to both spend time with dolphins and whales. And they are truly incredible creatures that we don't really see as necessarily deserving the same rights as humans at all times, although that is changing. I think a lot of this, like, how does this relate back to this message we got? The hard and stiff will be broken, the soft and supple will prevail. And so these animals, they live with the flow of the planet, right? And that is a incredible strength. And we have a lot to learn from that, because living in joy and abundance, in freedom, that is the way that these creatures live. They are, of course, impacted by the choices that we are making on this planet and the things that we do to them, but it doesn't change really how they are living amongst themselves or their intelligence. And I think there's so much that because we grew up with this way of seeing the creatures of this planet, we can't actually understand their wisdom and strength. And an octopus is also an incredibly intelligent animal. And hummingbirds, I mean, so all creatures, all life has its own form of intelligence. And it's a wide variety. The creatures that came out here are actually well known to be like incredibly powerful and intelligent, to a more average population. Octopuses are known for their high level of intelligence, which is why they represent this thoughtfulness here. And the hummingbird is known for its like power despite its small size. So these are incredibly intelligent and powerful animals. No, this opened up exactly to the whale. So we'll start with the whale. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their life. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost, and trust them to be a beacon in the darkest hour. Oh my gosh. I'm getting chills because this is making me think so much about the work that I have been reading and studying for a long period of time. And you're going to see that I'm going to be talking about books quite a bit here. Here we have Chasing the Scream by Johann Hari, and it talks about people recovering from addicts. He has he's a journalist who has written many books. And the people that have faced their darkness, they might show up in the world as people that perhaps by society standards don't have things that other people desire. But the depth and strength of people that have seen hard times, have faced the dark corners of themselves because of the dark corners of this culture, they are the powerhouses that are not thrown by these small things. It's just, I remember a year ago, I broke my arm. And I felt in my life awful lot of times because there were a lot of things that I could see that were out of balance and they troubled me and I wanted to address them. And I started to tell a story of myself where I'm just sensitive, which is something that I've been told a lot. But then when I broke my arm, I was just like, this is great. This is fine. There were things that I need to attend to. And then people are like, oh no, you broke your arm. It's like, this is not a problem. This is actually a solution to things that I need to deal with. And now I have to deal with them. Like, of course, like it's, better not to break your arm. But as far as broken arm situations went, it was perfect. It was perfect in every single way. I got the lessons I needed. And it also taught me that like pain and challenge, I can handle things that other people just would really see differently. And it gave me this confidence that what was considered by myself a true issue, there is truth in that. I'm not someone who just gets bogged down by little issues. The issues that I can see are based in actual Taoist alignment issues, when there is bad communication, when people are out of sorts. Yes, we want to bend, but do we bend until our supple stem is broken? There is a point where we are actually being stepped upon. So anyways, that's so for the whale, back to the whale, and these people, if you're a whale, if you've been through a lot and you have this depth, I'm so glad to be with you here right now. You are a master in ways of life that you don't even know, because you have faced darkness that other people can't even understand. You have this depth. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into the old story. To bring into balance, regular self-care. And I think this is the thing that is hard for those of us that have faced challenge, is that self-care can go to the wayside because we can survive with very little self-care, and we can see everything around us that needs attention. So regular self-care. And then here we have the dolphin, innately intelligent, healer, light, blessings. So wisdom and intelligence are really at the center of this here, my friends. The gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. The mind here. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing art as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming into contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. Good. All deserved, all around. When in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates own power. Yeah. This is a big challenge for people. And to bring into balance like-minded spirits. And I hope you're finding a little bit of that like-mindedness here. You can find it in, platforms like YouTube. You can find it in, animals, in nature, in other human beings. Okay. So like-minded people and self-care, which really that goes hand in hand, right? Octopus, reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. Yikes, I've been there. Anyone else? The octopus entwines itself with other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that what it's meant to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries, patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. When in balance, interested, engaged, intelligent. Again, the intelligence. When out of balance, needy, clingy, lacks courage. To bring into balance, space to oneself, and talk therapy. And so to me, this is what this is really saying is, this is like a progression here. The octopus energy, this is someone coming out of a very difficult time. When I've been at those low moments and completely untethered, this octopus really comes out because it's hard. You're like going through a lot and you want closeness and community and care, but the world is not structured to provide that to many people. I think even people that have people around them might not actually be well versed into actually how to support someone. And then even if you do have that, the world itself is not structured that way. So we become clingy and messy as we're healing from something pretty deep. And that develops our healer spirit, and it really gives us this level of intelligence and wisdom, and that further develops into the whale. And this is how we become this symbol of how people can rise. It's through facing the darkness and healing. And a lot of times we don't have a choice to go into those spaces, and people around us might judge us as we go through it, that we don't know what to do. But the truth is no one knows what to do. But this is, these two sides are kind of working together here. Now we have the hummingbird, positive, enthusiastic, spiritually resourceful. So again, this spiritual energy. Inside the tiny hummingbird resides an endless well of energy and positivity. The hummingbird's secret is that they have learned where to gather nectar, and they return to these sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation. Bliss is worth creating from. And this sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality, right? So those are those positive friends. But it's now like untethered from other people, which is nice because it's good to have community. But in this day and age, being reliant on people as they're also walking this wheel, going through their own process, is not sustainable. Follow the way of the hummingbird and you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet. Every moment becomes worth savoring. Yeah, so you start to find that sweetness. Know what the well is for you to drink from. When in balance, smart, curious, loves to learn. When out of balance, pushy, insistent, and sharp. To bring into balance, take a class. And I mean, the school of life, classes don't have to be exactly classes, right? It could be even spending time on YouTube, learning something new, reading a book. There's so much to learn. And there's also just a lot of platforms with education. I know there's LinkedIn Learning through my public library. There's just so many opportunities to learn and grow. So, and classes themselves are great. I'm an educator, so I like to teach classes. And there's a type of magic in learning in groups. So it's all incredible. Right. So this is for my friends out there who are, deep healers that have been through a lot, that are ready to learn how to drink the nectar, right? Of education, of beauty, of bliss, and to show that to others. Show people how to heal in a new way. It's no longer this false story of healing, kind of this one-dimensional healing where, you're finally normal, you're finally perfect in this weird, like DSM therapy-based model. It's more complex because we are complex beings. And as we rise, as we start to show people the beauty and complexity of our lives, others will rise around us. And that is the message for today. If you appreciated this message, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I'd be curious to know how you found this reading, or like how what worked for you, what you enjoyed. Drop an emoji. It's good to see you all today, and until next time, bye.